Hello, dear friends. It's Carly Wharton, and welcome back to Owning Authenticity. In this video, we are talking about getting out of our own way. And super fun that this is the second time that I've recorded this video because I recorded it a little while ago and didn't press record. So there was no recording when I finished. I did a really good job too, by the way. So it's a fun example to use as I go through my spiel on getting out of my own way because I did have to do that right after I failed to record this awesome spiel that I gave. I was in my own way and had to get myself out of my way so that I could make this video that you are watching now. So I do think it's kind of ironic that all of it came together in the end. But what I realized was actually really beautiful is that what am I doing this for if not to share messages that I care a lot about? And this particular message, I care a lot about. I care a lot about talking about how we stand in our own way and how to get out of our way so that we can move forward. Because personally, based on what I've learned and experienced, I understand that no one is ever holding us back besides us. The relationship that we have between us and ourselves, that is the only place where things can ever get tangled and twisted up. So every ounce of limitation, every ounce of restriction, it exists inside of us. And the sorting it out work happens inside of us. So all of this is just a way to help us to see more clearly, myself included. Talking through all of this helps me to see more clearly how I do stand in my own way. And just a few minutes ago, with making the mistake of not pressing record, and now I don't have my video, and I made it and it was good. And that feeling that settled over me, like, crap, like, dang it, that was good. And I felt the loss. I felt like I lost something. And I felt like I had made a mistake and I had messed it up and caused myself to lose something that was good. And I felt the emotional roller coaster of that. And almost instantly, it took a few minutes probably, this stillness came back through me. And what really landed is everything is always working out for me. So of course, that first version, it just wasn't the one. Like, this version is the one. And the way it all played out and having the mistakes so fresh and this experience of standing in my own way with my own disappointment in myself, like I was already in my mind, like the story was starting of, you messed it up. Like, you messed it up. And that was such a good one. And I was like, at myself. And in the releasing of that and the stillness and that everything is always working out for me, I was just grateful that everything is literally always working out for me. So I trust that that video was not supposed to happen. And I saw that as an opening and made a video called Everything is Always Working Out for Me. So I'll put that link in the description box for you if you want to check that out. That felt so good because that has been such a radical, transformational tool. That affirmation of everything is always working out for me. It brought me out of the spiral of like beating up on myself for that mistake of not pressing record. And it helped me to see the bigger picture. And in that moment of remembering to look at the bigger picture, I was able to observe what I had just been doing. And every single one of these, it's like clockwork. These are the top three that I see as how we stand in our own way. So numero uno, our story, the story that we tell. Our life is a reflection of the story that we tell. So if we tell stories about how we're the victim, or these are ones that I told a lot, was like, people don't get me, people don't understand me, people don't like me, I'm ugly, on and on and on. And what ended up happening was I had basically no friends, very few friendships along the way, and always feeling like I can't make friends like other people. I told that story a lot. And I'm telling that story because I'm manifesting no friends, and I'm manifesting like other people have friends and I don't. So like I'm commenting on what's happening and manifesting more of it. And this idea that I got from Abraham Hicks of your life is a reflection of the story you tell. If you want to upgrade your life, upgrade your story and watch your life reflect your upgraded story. It starts on the inside. It's an inside job. So shifting our mindsets, not from you messed it up and you're stupid and you're ugly and you're not good enough and like nobody likes you, nobody understands you. Like when I was telling myself these stories, I was manifesting a life that felt like crap. And now telling the story mostly that everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Life is good. It just unfolds one step at a time. Like the story that we spend time talking about and thinking about, not just the story that comes out of our minds, it's the story that's on the loop in your thoughts. You don't know what stories loop in your thoughts, that just means you're not paying attention, because there are stories looping in our thoughts. That's just part of being human, part of the programming that happens in the computer that is our brain. All stories for another day. The story is our energy. The story is our perspective, how we see the world, our narrative of what's happening. And if we see that the world is an awful place, an ugly place, full of pain and suffering, that's basically how we're going to feel. And all of that is maybe true. Truth doesn't really factor into any of this. Fortunately, unfortunately, take your pick. It's more about tell the story of what you want to manifest. So if you like, it's not that there's not suffering, but yes, there's suffering, and there's this. There's people doing good work for other people. There are people who are following their inspiration to give and live their lives in service and seeking things that will be of value. And they do that because they feel the connection to the all. They can feel the interconnectedness of everything. And it's up to us. It's up to us how we want to choose to spend our airtime, the time inside your brain, the time that you spend awake. How often are the thoughts that are in there things that you would want to manifest out in your life? And how often are they things that are complaints and worries and fears and judgments against yourself and others? I've been practicing this for a while and I still catch myself judging myself and others, like as recently as today on both counts. So it isn't something that we try to be perfect at. It's something to be aware of, the stories that you give time to, because those are what's gonna manifest. So it's interesting to unravel them and see what's playing on loop in your brain, because that does inform the story that eventually comes out your mouth and is now impacting other people and the rest of the world. The second piece, and again, this is very much pulling from my own experience, is deservability. So, do I deserve to be happy? Do I deserve to be loved? Am I lovable? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. That was what took me to therapy, was like, I don't like myself, like I don't like me. I'm jealous of everyone. I'm envious of everybody else. I don't like me. And the first thing, like 5 minutes into the session, she hands me the deservability treatment, which was authored by Louise Hay. And it is all about believing that you actually deserve a happy life. You are good and you do deserve good things because you are good and you are lovable and you deserve love because you're alive. And the first time I read it, I bawled like a baby because I knew as I read it, I don't believe any of this. This is all nonsense. None of it's real for me. I'm saying these words, but this is a dress that does not fit. And the homework was take it home and say it to yourself in the mirror a couple times every day. And a couple months of doing that, and my deservability had upgraded. I now smiled when I read it because it was nice to remind myself that I was good and that I am lovable. And it was nice to go there and remind myself and to know those things. And that didn't take long at all to build, like we stand in our own way, but oh, there's that saying that's like only you can let yourself out of prison and only you can realize that you're in prison. Basically, like if you don't know you're in prison, you can't let yourself out. So if you don't fully wrap your arms around you're the only one standing in your own way, none of these tools can help you, like these are tools to use on the inside for the inside work. Crafting the story that we tell to be something that we want to manifest in our lives, and building our deservability and our sense of worthiness on purpose as a hobby, as an investment in stone by stone building the life that we deserve, and enhancing our life and upgrading our life by upgrading our deservability. And again, I think that's another one where I don't think there's a top end to that spectrum. So the more deserving you feel, no matter how good you already feel, feeling even more deserving will yield more being attracted in your world. So always room for improvement. I love that. And the last one that I'll share is your personal guidance system. So our body, our vessel is equipped with its own guidance system, just like the dashboard on your car has all kinds of gauges and lights and things that flash at you and tell you things about this vehicle, like, hey, you need an oil change. Hey, your gas gauge is empty or your gas tank is empty. On and on and on. Like it'll communicate with you. And our vessel, our vehicle, our body does that also. So this means that we can't be checked out of our body. We can't be checked out of our emotions. Both of those are the guidance system that our vehicle has. And until we can like optimally operate our vehicle, until you know how to drive your avatar, you can't walk on your soul's path. This has been my experience. Like for I don't know, however many years I've been tuned into my emotions. But before that, I was the queen of just numbing them, eating them, smoking them, on and on and on. I'm not feeling these things. I feel miserable and I don't want to feel anything. So let's just sleep for 18 hours a day and call it good. So tuning into my emotions was a big step. And now, even more recently, getting in my body and listening to my body, letting it talk to me, letting it request what foods it's wanting to eat and how it wants to eat and when it wants to eat, not restricting my body to any kind of schedule. I don't have a bedtime. I don't set an alarm. I let my body do what it will naturally do and whatever's going to feel good for it. And this is just one more way where I feel alive inside myself in a way that I didn't before. So I can confidently say that, again, I was standing in my own way by being checked out of my body, by having no exercise and eating crap, any crap that I wanted, and not really caring about my body, just kind of dragging it around with me, and really only using it from the neck up. And that, I think that phase of my life is over because again, I see the difference between being checked out of my body and the outcomes that come from that and being tuned into my body and the outcomes that are coming from that, the energy levels, the alignment, the ease, the good feeling body, the energy levels, like the energy. all about the energy in all of these things, right? Like telling a better story. We can't just say the words. It's really about leaning towards feeling what that story really feels like. Um, Deservability, like, yes, fake it until you make it. Affirmations are definitely powerful, like the deservability treatment that I took home and read to myself in the mirror twice a day for a couple months. Like those tools can help you get there, but it is still a process of feeling that happens on the inside. And if you're not willing to open the floodgates of emotion, then again, all of these tools are kind of out of reach. So maybe more food for thought if that's where you are. If you are all up in your feelings, hello and welcome to the club, um, of learning how to navigate this deeply emotional space. I feel like I am just a person that has a lot of feelings, and those feelings, they tell me things all the time, and it can be very confusing to try to tune into that and make sense out of what all of these crazy erratic emotions are telling me. And the thing I'll say is that it's gotten a lot easier to get out of my own way the more and more I let go of caring what other people think of me. You know, like when I'm trying to keep up with society, it's basically impossible to hear what my guidance system is saying when you're consumed with the news and your family and your spouse and your kids and your life, you know, all of these things outside of here. If that's your 100% attention, having a relationship with yourself and managing your emotions and crafting your story, like it's about carving out the time to be there and spending time in that place on purpose, because you know that you're a better spouse, you're a better friend, you're a better business owner, you're a better citizen of this world when your relationship between you and you is clear and open and you are allowing yourself to have what you want. Every time I feel restricted, I try to remind myself that I'm doing this. You know, only I can stand in my own way. So this restriction that's holding me back, it's inside of me to be removed. And that's really, really empowering if we let it be.